Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm finally not in the car and I'm home. This weekend has been really awesome because not because Zach's been at work, but because he's at work, I've had a lot of time to get stuff done. And the last few weeks I have kind of just been doing like the bare minimum because I have been so stressed. And what makes it worse is when the house looks bad, it's even more stressful for me, and especially for Zach too, because he works all day, and if he comes home and like just having like a cluttered house is never like the ideal situation for people who are going through a lot of stuff, like no matter what they're going through. And last month we had a fire in our house. I lost my grandmother. I actually, what else happened? I don't know. I remember like a bunch of stuff happening, but I can't think of it right off the top of my head right now because I've just been kind of like working through it and like letting go of all that stress and anxiety. So I'm finally getting a chance this weekend to get the house back together again and getting all sorts of laundry done and just kind of sticking with it. My husband and I have a very traditional relationship where he goes to work every day and I stay home and like cook and clean, take care of the pets. And so with that being said, I have kind of like fallen back a little tiny bit on my chores and things that I do around the house and for us as a couple. And I am finally getting back into it. I'm feeling really good today for the first time in a long time. Like that anxiety, that like dark cloud is just like kind of fading away a bit. And I also deal with chronic disability. And so sometimes that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. And with that, like sometimes I still fall behind, but I do my best. I also work one day at a week in a kitchen. I work as a line cook on Fridays. And this weekend was also very stressful because it was the busiest day of like the weekend. This past weekend was the busiest weekend of the year for that restaurant. And I went in Friday morning and I was not feeling myself because I had missed my medication the morning before, not knowing that I had. I took the rest of my medication, but one of them just fell into the car seat and Zach found it Friday morning. And he's like, no wonder you weren't feeling good yesterday. All Thursday morning was really good. We were just having a good time. We did some shopping. We did some responsibility things. We just relaxed and had a really good time. Grabbed some breakfast at Starbucks. Zach just had an energy drink. But we had like a really relaxing Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon hits. It's like 2-3 o'clock. And I just get so zonked out. Like I'm just like stressed. I'm having like a mood swing. Like I'm just not feeling myself. So I took my regular medication at night and I took it the next morning, but I was still not feeling myself. And so I explained that to my manager when I got to work, and halfway through the day, I just couldn't even like function. I was like not feeling good at all. So I told him and he sent me home. And so I am a little worried about that, but I'm really praying that like he understands what I was going through and that this kind of stuff like never ever happens to me. Like every so often something like that will happen, but like it's not very often, and I'm usually super responsible about my mental health and my general health and like just taking care of myself. I'm really good at that. So so yesterday I started feeling a lot better, and today I feel like I would say like as good as it can be for the moment. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I talked to my trainer earlier this week and we want to get started again. It's been about a month since I've been to the gym, at least 3 weeks. And I think this week will be 4 weeks since I've been working out regularly. And she wants to see me on the phone next weekend so I can start going to the gym the following week. So I have one more week of just, going for walks and doing that, but getting back into weightlifting, which is something that I've learned that I'm really good at and I actually really enjoy. So that's kind of what is like keeping me going right now. Also just like knowing that, I don't know, like these kind of things happen. Like it's just been so long since it's been like this, like I don't know if I feel depressed or not. I definitely don't feel like it's affecting me that badly, but just like every morning waking up thinking like, oh my God, am I gonna feel bad again today? And like getting that down feeling. Something my husband always says to me is you control your emotions, you control your happiness. If you believe you're happy, you're gonna be happy. If you think about being down and sad and just like not feeling good, that's how you're gonna feel. So I have in the last few weeks really focused on like my mental strength and like taking that time to say like, hey, like these emotions are here, but I don't have to feel that way. Like I can change how my day is going to go and I can change how I'm going to feel during the day. So having that clarity and strength is so important, especially with people with mental health disabilities or, mental health is illnesses, anything like that. My diagnosis is bipolar disorder. So it's something I've dealt with since I was about 22 years old. So it's been 10 years this, oh, no, 11 years this year, because I'm 33. And I have learned so much about myself and my disability and how it affects me over the last few years. I will say it has improved at a crazy amount since like 2018. I think that I finally am doing what I need to do to make sure that I prioritize my mental health. And that means being around the right kind of people, like treating myself with absolute respect, and like if I'm not feeling comfortable in a situation, knowing how to either leave or cope in that certain moment. So I think it's really important for people who do have mental health problems or just, disorders, whatever you want to call it. If you are stressful with your mental health, and have any questions about it, definitely comment below. Like I have so much experience with dealing with that anxiety and stress and mood swings, stuff like that. Like I feel like I handle it so well. Sorry, I'm holding the camera. I feel like I'm shaking really bad. But I think it's so important to just be kind to yourself, to be kind to others when you're not feeling yourself. Like there's so many reasons that you can act upon the feelings that you get from your disorder or disability, whatever. But there's so many more reasons to, instead of reacting, taking the consideration and kindness towards yourself and towards others to just be a good human being. Because there's no reason to let it get to yourself. Or if you feel like crying, cry. That's fine. But if you're going to be like angry and mean to other people about how you feel about yourself, like I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. And I am definitely not a doctor and I'm definitely not like a therapist of any kind, but I do have a lot of personal experience. So if you do have any questions, please ask, because I would love to share this channel also as like a mental health support, because I would love to talk more about my disability and how I go about life having this and how I've done it for the last 11 years. I have had a few conversations. My mom actually mentioned it the other day, but I actually have talked to my doctors about it before. My disability is most likely caused by like childhood trauma. My parents had a really rough divorce when I was younger, and there are a few other things in my childhood and like early adulthood that were very traumatic, and I don't think that my disorder is hereditary. So Even though there are some people in my family who do deal with mental health stuff, I don't think it's necessarily like that's what I had. Growing up, I was super active, super social, very like 100% like all American girl. And I just really loved living life. When I was 19, I kind of switched my vibe a little bit. Like, I was always super, super preppy growing up. I was really into sports. I was really into education and scholastic activities. When I was a freshman in college, I decided that I wanted to get dreadlocks, become natural, like just kind of go with the flow of like, I think the biggest thing is that I started just seeing the difference between material things and what was actually important. And I went on an adventure. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia from a small town in Maine. And I had obviously spent a lot of time in cities and stuff growing up because my mom and my dad, we traveled a lot, all over the country, out of the country. I had gone to Australia and Spain. I'd been to the Cayman Islands. Where else have I gone? Anyways, all over the United States. So I had a lot of experience with traveling, so I wanted to go by myself. I ended up moving to Atlanta, Georgia. I lived in Cabbagetown in East Atlanta Village. And I loved it. I loved it. But that's when I started experiencing symptoms from my now diagnosis. And the next few years after that, I ended up moving back home and struggled really, really badly because nobody understood that what my changes were in my lifestyle and attitude. I partied more. I definitely took some risks that I don't think I would have done if I had been under some sort of treatment for my diagnosis. And then when I was diagnosed when I was 22, I was hospitalized. And after that, I went back to college because I was getting my life back on track. So I was 23 when I went back to school. And then again in 2017, when I was going into my junior year, I definitely had another big whammy. I had, through my doctor, started lowering one of my medications. I take 2 medications for my mental health. And I started lowering one of them, and it just went in a really bad direction. And I ended up in the hospital again. So I've been hospitalized twice for my bipolar disorder. And I don't know, this time around when I left the hospital, it was 2018 when I went into the hospital. 2017 around like January, like 2017, like November, December, I started really going downhill. I was extremely depressed. I acted in ways that like I normally wouldn't act. Just being very kind of like disconnected, I guess, from the ones that I love. And I definitely kind of blamed them in some ways for how I was feeling. My family around me said that I was always really enjoyable, but they did notice that like I would cry literally at any like given moment, like say one wrong thing and I would just like burst out in tears. And I just really felt uncomfortable with myself. So after I was in the hospital in 2018, it was March when I got back home, and I immediately felt like a brand new person. Like my attitude changed. I felt happier. I felt so confident, and it just never went back from that. Like I've just stayed consistently really, really good. And I think the stress and anxiety that I've been feeling from the last month, like the whole month of April, was just like one thing after another. like is natural to feel sad and anxious and like depressed. You know what I mean? Like everybody goes through times like that. I still take care of myself. I still get the house clean. I still go to work every day that I am scheduled to be at work. And just because this past Friday was one of those days where, you know, was an accident and I couldn't finish my shift, I just felt really bad, really, really bad that it was like the busiest weekend and there was literally nothing I could do to be there. Like I was moving so slow for the hours that I was there. Like I was missing ingredients from different recipes that I was making. And I just felt like I was not being 100% that I could be there. And I didn't want to be there if I was going to like hinder how the workday was going for everybody else. So, I will definitely have to contact my employer like Monday. It's such a busy weekend. I don't want to go in like this weekend, but I'll probably go Monday or Tuesday and talk to my boss and my manager, and see how they feel about me coming back next Friday. So, because I really love the job and I really hope it goes well for me, and I hope that it didn't go too badly for them when I wasn't there and couldn't finish all the work that they needed me to do, which was a lot. So, that's kind of my story with my mental health. Also, I just want to touch base. My husband, Zach, has been like a total angel when it comes to me and what I go through on a daily basis, because even though I am happy, like most of the time, I do still get mood swings and I do still get like angry and upset, just like a normal human being. And he is such like heaven sent for me. Like he is such a strong man for me. And I really, really appreciate everything that he's done in the last few years, what he does every day for us as a couple and our household. And the fact that he's still so sweet is just crazy. But my fitness journey kind of goes along with my mental health too, because like, because I've been on and off of my medication, when I stop taking it, I lose weight. When I start taking it again, I put on like 100 pounds, no joke. And so that's kind of my struggle with my physical appearance. I have been really good with everything for the last few years, but it just doesn't always seem to happen the way I want it to. I lose weight, I put it back on so easily. Like if I stop eating carbs for a couple months, literally if I eat a piece of bread, like all the weight comes back on. And so just trying to find balance and what's good for me and my body and my brain has definitely been a challenging experience. So if you guys do have any questions at all, please comment below, and I love you, and like and subscribe. All right, love you. Bye.